Jim West is up now.
Oh, yeah?
No shortage of fights. You probably give us your top two all-time fight stories.
I don't know. I'll give you I don't know. I've had so many fights in my life. I'll try to keep up with the group therapy. How about that? You know, how many guys? I don't know.
I like your group therapy fight story. That would probably be one to lead with.
Well, this one's a little unique. My brother.
Don't go to group therapy with Jim because he'll choke you out.
No,
Basically,
which
what I learned
actually
from his
done,
story.
Yeah.
You gotta tell that. You gotta tell that story.
Now?
Yeah, let's hear the group. Let's hear the group therapy.
I was for a minor misdemeanor. I was court ordered to anger management.
Yeah, because they always put you in anger management for minor misdemeanors and parking violations. I find.
It sounds like a plea down to me.
It was a plea down.
Yeah.
So I agreed to sit around a bunch of guys. And when I first got in there, I thought it was pretty cool because some of the guys really had issues, and you could tell. And there's one guy, he's maybe close to my age, sitting around, never speaking about anything. And then it was my day in the hot seat. You know, by the way, this was years ago. And this is 15 years ago or so, when I used to have anger problems. And
Not anymore.
no. So, not unless you piss me off.
It's their fault.
We saw Jim stomping a puppy to death.
Hey, but you got to do it the right way. So, there's one guy, you know, it was my day in the hot seat, that's what they call it, where you got to explain yourself. Why are you here? You know, to try to get you the hardest thing in the world for any of us to do is to, you know, own up to our own bullshit. You know, so when I start talking, and I'm doing my intro, you know, I'm a special ops guy, whatever, and this guy goes, oh yeah. For 6 weeks, this guy never opened his fucking mouth, right? 6 fucking weeks. He goes, oh yeah. I was an Air Force Ranger in Vietnam.
Air Force?
Ouch.
And you know,
There's a red flag.
it just hit me the wrong way.
And then you hit him the right way, right? Is that what happened?
No,
How many minutes until you choked him with
no, minutes never entered my life except for in sex. Ha! How about that?
Solid 2
So
minutes
I
from
just
now?
came out of my seat. And I went from,
Are we talking prison
I went
sex?
across his chest, rolled
You gotta
up
get
into
enough
the
before the
chin,
water comes around.
cracked him with a fucking elbow. He's tried to fall down, but I wouldn't let him because I wanted to headbutt him a few times. Everybody jumped on me, you know.
Right now is where I want to pan to the counselor as this is happening. I want to like pan and see the reaction on the counselor's face
This is not
as
right.
Jim's starting
This is
to.
not right.
The anger management counselor, right?
Yeah, so I know.
Violence never solved anything.
So in the last 15 years, I've never been invited back to group therapy. It's 101. Yeah,
One-on-one.
so we can get the right.
That should be the title of this segment. Never go to group therapy with Jim.
Good idea.
Or just,
You guys are
just
good.
group
This
therapy.
this
Solid.
actually is.
Wait,
group
hold on.
therapy.
Yeah.
Well, what is this secret unit, Air Force Rangers? What the fuck is that?
That's why he got choked the fuck
I have
out.
no fucking
Tier
idea.
one
I knew it was.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen, I've got a
Classified. That's
I've
the.
got a hard on for
Classified.
people that
Stop asking.
you know, like you guys don't like posers. And I don't chase them around, but if they ever pop up in a barroom conversation, if you've ever been there and done that, you just fucking know. And when that happens, you know, you just do what you got to do,
Hey, that's a good segue to Stolen Valor, man.
right?
Yeah.
Damn.
You fucking know. You don't have to be there.
Can I just say one thing though? Now that you've taken your hat off, that is, you've got some hair.
Now we know why the Cholo woman
That is
go
a,
after
that is a
you.
two-head.
I'm sorry, I tend to keep it down.
Now we know why the Cholo woman's going
This is
after
a
you.
forehead. That is a two-head right there.
That's not a forehead. That's like a
was it?
fucking That's a six head.
Well, let's talk about. Hey, let's talk about Stolen Valor.
That's not
Let's
a
talk about
forehead.
Stolen Valor. So, I mean, the thing is, a lot of guys on the site, SOFREP and the other sites, always, and for one, like we've decided to like spend less time and effort on posting on this stuff because it's so pervasive. It's everywhere.
God.
We're constantly dealing with Stolen Valor. But I think the big question out there that guys ask that haven't served in the military is like, why is this such a big deal? And you know, I look at, you know, we're filming this on, you know, the Memorial Day weekend. It's like all of our brothers have given their lives and earned, you know, the same things that we did. And it just strikes a nerve, I think, when we see guys like profiting or using that to leverage to their own advantage. And I just like to get everyone's thoughts on their feelings on the whole Stolen Valor thing, because it pops up every every so often. I mean, I've been at events, even this business group I belong to in New York, like, oh, you got to meet this other Navy SEAL. I was like, oh, really? Like, I'd really like to meet him right away.
I don't think people.
And he was like, oh, I was attached to a SEAL unit. It's like, look, man, you cannot.
There's a guy in Arkansas that I
cannot represent that.
I had somebody give me his name and said, you got to get in touch with the coach at the school because he's a former SEAL. I was like, awesome. Freaking team guy here where my mom lives. Turns out the guy was a complete liar. He was in the Navy and basically did a couple articles and dropped the thing that he was a SEAL, and then he became known as a SEAL.
Just ran with it.
He just ran with it.
Yeah.
And the biggest issue is like, I get a guy is at a bar bullshitting a girl, but the big issue I have is like guys using the credential, like lying about the credential to earn people's trust and gain financial advantage, and that's whether that's charitable or business, and that's the biggest thing that drives me nuts. Like, look, a lot of my friends earn the right to wear the uniform, and you cannot take that away. Like, it really just hits that nerve, you know.
Can I jump in on this? When I retired, I did a little bit of contract work, and one of the ones I was on President Aristide's personal bodyguard detail when we went back to Haiti, and there was a guy. I should say his name, but I won't. His first name's Tom. How about that? And claims
What
he
does
was
his last name rhyme with?
Arter.
There we go. There we go.
And he's dead today.
Oh, to say his name?
Yeah, fuck it, say his name.
Anyway, fuck. But listen, fuck him. So this one guy.
Jim was acquitted. Let's just put that out there.
No, it happened after my time.
Now.
So we're doing a detail, we're driving, and he's panicking behind, 1 foot on the gas, 1 foot on the brake, and he breaks off the fucking mirror, and, because he hits a goddamn parked vehicle on the side of the road, and it's just all freaky, I'm like, what the fuck, right? And so, and some other things were bugging me about the guy. He didn't seem that, claimed to be from the CAG from Delta, right? And then one day he did some stupid shit up. We were living in the palace there in Haiti, the one that went down with the earthquake. But I fucking
Like
grabbed
everything else.
I know this sounds bad, but I grabbed him by the throat, kind of like that, right? And Bruce Hazelwood broke us up, and I said, fuck this guy. So
The VA should have somebody, like a billet for someone like you.
They should.
To just like stand in the back room, and as soon as people start bullshitting, Jim comes over and starts choking them out. Like, there should be a billet for that, like for the VA.
Fucking liar.
Yeah.
But who would the fucking guy be? He's got to be like more badass than him to subdue him.
Hey, it's not about being a badass. It's about knowing when and where to make shit happen.
Standards. It should be like some type of standards
Yeah.
billet for you could enforce the standards.
I'd be happy to. So, and I'm even old, but I don't give a fuck. But
Maybe
listen,
that's how you control him. You get him to do that fucking job.
No, listen. So I called my good friend Dale Comstock, who did come out of the CAG. He is a Delta guy. And I said, hey, Dale, what about this guy? Because
Who I'm saying, like,
Yeah.
the funny thing about Dale, and I love Dale,
Yeah.
is when I think of Dale Comstock, I think of Napoleon Dynamite on the Taekwondo portion where he's like, you think I'm some loser because I go home to Starla every night? And he points at his girlfriend, and the girlfriend's like just ripped because that's the kind of girls Dale dates. I'm like, oh my god, bro, like that girl would like crush me. Yeah, Rex Kwando.
they have large
The Rex Kwando scene. Yeah. Grab my wrist. No, my other wrist. But
the other hand.
he points at his wife Starla on the wall, and Starla's just like, I'm like, oh my god, man, looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger with been photoshopped with a girl's head.
Oh, no shit, yeah.
But Dale likes those girls, man. Like, give him credit.
He's going
I
for
don't
a
know.
little leaner one now.
Yeah, good on him, man.
I have a little fascination with chicks with abs too myself. I don't know.
I can't
these
do it,
aren't abs,
man.
These are biceps and triceps.
I like the skinny girls. I can't do the bodybuilder girls. Yeah.
So anyway, stolen valor.
Anyway,
There we have it.
yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you for
So I
getting
called
stuck.
Chatting the chick up at the bar is one thing, but fucking.
So I called Dale and I said, "What's up with this guy?" And Dale, because I'm trained. I was a consultant. I went in. I did, trained behind the fence with you guys. After I retired, and he don't match up, man. Something's fucking wrong. He was a driver assigned to the organization. Stolen valor, saying, but he's making a living. $1,000.
The air marshals are full of those
Yeah.
people.
Stateside?
No, we're in Haiti, but he made his mark stateside, so right to get hired. And
So
here's-
bullshit at his resume, basically.
bullshit as fuck. He's saying I was in Delta. He was assigned, but as a
Just
support
like
post,
HNS or
right?
The problem is that
Yeah.
8214s will say that they were attached to SEAL Team 4 or that they were attached to Special Forces.
Well, you should have a little certificate. In the
but people that don't realize what it's actually saying, they'll
It's
think that
headquarters
they were,
units and all that shit. Yeah.
Well, you know, I get into that as well, but I made the comment, this motherfucker's going to die one day. You know what I mean? And then it was a year or so later, he did
I don't know what you mean. What do you mean by that?
Well, he's dead.
Exactly, what do you mean by
He
that,
did
Jim?
some contract work overseas,
He's a
living
spaz.
on his... Yeah, and he got fucking killed
He's a spaz.
because he's bullshit, you know? You didn't know
Well,
how to-
listen, I had not to steal your fire, but we talked about this before on SOFREP Radio, where I got asked to go to Venezuela with a guy that I was told was a real deal and was vet. Unfortunately, I didn't have a team guy or operator or vet. The guy was a friend of a friend who's an attorney. He said, "Oh, he's the real deal." So I'm told that I go down to Venezuela to do a protection detail, that we'll have body armor and weapons. I get down there, we have like the crappiest little thin body armor, no weapons. And the guy, when we gave the brief to the people that were going to do the movement, Tony Sheena is the guy who is from Australia and purports himself as being the world champion martial artist. And he
Bullshit
did,
artist.
Yeah, and I'm sorry I keep looking at my phone while I'm saying this, but he basically could not give an operations brief. He couldn't even tell the film crew what side of the car to get on if we took fire and what to do. And I had to take the whole freaking thing over and say, look, okay, now that we're through with the Hollywood portion of filming this is the reality. This is where you're going to have to go, because if I do get a gun during this whole thing and I have to shoot, this is where, if we have contact here, that's where I'm shooting. You better get behind me. I mean, the guy couldn't even brief
So
that.
what happened to him?
So he and Jim are having
Well,
prison sex.
Then the next thing you know, I see an article about him on Fox and on FoxNews.com and all this stuff great about him. But here's the reality, guys: that people have to vet these people. Just because they say they were in, some kind of intelligence unit, it doesn't mean anything.
But you should.
And he's a BS artist. He's full of
Well, the
crap.
happy ending is Jim's story. The guy died.
Happy
And I've heard of that. I mean,
That's the happy.
Happy ending.
Not
Guy's a
everybody
fucking
should be
brutal
sucking up our air, you know?
I just want to say that I don't think, all right, for the future bullshit artists, fucking stolen Valeries, this community is so fucking small. This is the smallest community on earth. You cannot and you will not get away saying that you are what you're not. It's just not gonna fucking happen. It's only a matter of time where someone's gonna call your fucking bullshit and drop you on it, dude.
we put your ass through the ringer.
Oh my god.
I do need to-